He said, listen, when you do it, you have to be committed to it.
Draymond Green has always been one of those rare figures. He is unapologetic, loud, fiery, and unafraid of the backlash that comes from being himself. At 32, with years of championships, controversies, and battles behind him, Draymond has a perspective on the game that only he could deliver. When he was asked about the players that fans seem to hate the most, his answers revealed not just the names, but the deeper reasons why certain figures in the NBA inspire such raw emotion. Today, we're breaking down those 5 names and uncovering why Draymond Green believes these players sit at the very top of basketball's hate list. Let's begin with number 1. Number 1 is, of course, LeBron James. Now, to be very clear, Draymond doesn't hate LeBron. In fact, their relationship has been complex, full of rivalry, respect, and eventually even friendship. But when it comes to the fans, LeBron James is at the absolute center of love and hate in the NBA. Draymond has spoken openly about this before, saying that LeBron is hated for the same reasons he is loved. His dominance, his consistency, his ability to stay at the top for so long. Fans love greatness when it's on their side, but the moment greatness begins to feel predictable, when championships start stacking up, and when one player seems to overshadow the rest of the league, hate becomes just as strong as admiration. Draymond knows this because he lived through it. Every finals battle between the Warriors and Cavaliers turned LeBron into both the hero and the villain, depending on where you stood. Draymond has said it himself, that LeBron's decision to leave Cleveland for Miami ignited a wave of hate that never fully disappeared, even after he redeemed himself with a championship for the Cavaliers. It's the price of being the face of the league for nearly 2 decades. And when Draymond points to LeBron as the number 1 player fans hate, it's less about flaws in LeBron's game and more about the uncomfortable truth that the greatest often carry the heaviest hate. Moving to number 2, we arrive at James Harden. If there is any player who embodies the phrase polarizing, it's Harden. Draymond has commented before on the way Harden's style of play has divided basketball culture. On one hand, Harden is an offensive genius, a player capable of manipulating defenses, drawing fouls at will, and scoring with ease. On the other hand, fans often accuse him of ruining the flow of the game, slowing down possessions, and leaning too heavily on free throws rather than pure shot making. Draymond knows this because he faced Harden at his very peak during those heated Warriors-Rockets matchups in the Western Conference playoffs. The rivalry was fierce, and Draymond has often said that Harden's ability to bait defenders into fouls frustrated not only the opponents, but the fans watching at home. For fans who love the purity of basketball, Harden represents everything they criticize about the modern game. Yet for others, his skill is undeniable. Draymond's perspective makes it clear why Harden sits so high on the hate list. It's not personal animosity, it's the way Harden became the face of a playing style that fans either admire as genius or reject as cheap. And when you're that much of a lightning rod for debate, hate comes just as fast as praise. Now, let's go to number 3, and here's where it gets even more personal. Kyrie Irving. Few players have captured as much controversy off the court as they have on it, and Kyrie is at the top of that list. Draymond Green, who has never shied away from speaking his mind, understands why fans often direct their hate toward Kyrie. It isn't just about basketball. It's about the unpredictability. Kyrie is a gifted player, maybe one of the most skilled ball handlers and clutch shot makers the league has ever seen. Draymond has acknowledged that. He was on the other side of Kyrie's iconic three-pointer in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals, a shot that will haunt Warriors fans forever. But off the court, Kyrie has often found himself at the center of controversy, whether it's about team chemistry, personal beliefs, or decisions that left fans questioning his priorities. For Draymond, who has also been labeled as disruptive or controversial, the connection is obvious. Fans hate Kyrie because they can't control him. They can't predict him. He doesn't fit the mold of what a superstar should be. And when you defy expectations in that way, you collect critics along with admirers. Draymond's acknowledgement of Kyrie on this list shows his understanding of how complex hate can be, especially when brilliance is paired with unpredictability. At number 4, Draymond pointed to Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is perhaps one of the most misunderstood players in modern NBA history. He plays with heart, with fire, and with an intensity that few can match. Draymond has often praised his energy and competitiveness, but he also knows why fans have turned on him. Westbrook's game, once celebrated for triple-doubles and unmatched hustle, has become a lightning rod for criticism in recent years. Missed shots, turnovers, and poor efficiency have all fueled the narrative that Westbrook's style hurts his teams more than it helps. Draymond, who has clashed with Westbrook on the court, recognizes that part of the hate comes from how fans love to build a player up, only to tear them down when the flaws become visible. In Westbrook's case, the very things that made him beloved, his aggression, his relentlessness, his refusal to change, are now the reasons fans criticize him. Draymond has a personal understanding of that cycle. He knows what it feels like to be celebrated for your fire, and then hated when that fire burns too bright. With Westbrook, the love and hate are intertwined, and Draymond sees that clearly. Finally, number 5 brings us to none other than himself. Draymond Green didn't shy away from including his own name when talking about the most hated players in basketball. And how could he not? He has lived it, embraced it, and even used it as fuel. From flagrant fouls to trash talk, from heated confrontations to suspensions in the finals, Draymond has been at the center of countless controversies. He knows exactly why fans hate him. For some, it's his attitude. For others, it's his physical play. For many, it's his unapologetic nature, the way he refuses to play the villain any differently than he already does. But Draymond has always believed that hate is part of greatness. If people care enough to hate you, it means you've made an impact. It means you've disrupted the game in some way. And for Draymond, that's all he ever wanted, to leave his mark. By putting himself on the list, he shows an honesty that few athletes ever embrace. He knows who he is, and he knows that the boos raining down in arenas are just as much a part of his legacy as the rings on his fingers.